Seems fitting to start the day with a good cup of joe, and this morning we're learning how to add a little twist to your next espresso. Here to show us how to make a Caffe Corretto is Leah Muhm from La Marzocco. Is that how I say it?
Yes,
correctly?
indeed, La Marzocco.
With a little something
flourish,
at
yes.
the end. So this is so cool. I have only recently discovered coffee espresso
Yeah.
last year when I was in Italy, so
Awesome.
I'm very familiar with the little cup.
Yes, the
But
demi-tasse cups.
You guys take it up another step. What is a Caffe Corretto?
Caffe Corretto translates literally to corrected. So if you add a shot of espresso to a cup, and you add any amount of liquor, any type of liquor, traditionally it's grappa. Today we're using Amaro.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That sounds a little strong for me.
It's a little intense, so
Yeah.
we are going to get you some coffee, but it is going to be with a twist. But it's a very small amount, so it's usually only about 10% of the total volume of your espresso shot.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so it's just meant for an after dinner with dessert, something really quick and light, not meant to get you feeling any kind of way.
Okay,
Yes.
either way.
Either way.
Too wound up or not.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
so you've got this super duper espresso machine, and we'll talk about how to do this for people who just have coffee makers and
Yes.
don't maybe care for espresso, that they can have fun too. Shall we
Absolutely.
make one?
Yeah, absolutely. So today I'm using
This
the...
is so fancy.
Yeah, this is our Leah Mini, which you can find out more about on lamarzoccohome.com. It's a home espresso machine, handmade in Italy, Florence specifically.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're going
And
to
as usual, so beautifully designed.
So beautifully designed. All Italian design, I feel like, has that special something about it. And we're going to take our portafilter, which
Okay.
literally just means portable filter. So it has a little metal filter that's a basket. It's going to filter our coffee.
Okay.
Today I'm going to set it on my scale, and I'm going to put about 20 grams of coffee into this portafilter.
Oh, wow.
So this is 20 grams that I've already ground. So that's pretty good there. Take my jam filter off, and before you tamp your espresso...
Can you hold it up just a little
Yeah,
bit so
absolutely.
we can see what you're
Yeah.
doing? There we go.
So before I tamp my shot, I'm always going to settle it just a little bit. So I
Okay.
want the bed to be nice, even, and flat. I want the water to hit it and sort of soak through that bed in a nice, even, and controlled way.
Okay.
I'm
your
going to take
tamper.
my tamper. I'm going to do this one on the counter here. I'm going to set it down, and I'm going to turn into a robot. I'm going to turn my
I'm
arm
going
into
to
a
put you
piston.
right over here so we
Yeah,
can
absolutely.
see you.
Absolutely. So then I'm going to take my tamper, and I'm going to go straight down, and I'm going to press down about as hard as I can.
Okay.
That ends up being about 30 to 50 pounds of pressure. You'll see that on the internet. That just means until the coffee stops moving.
Right. And all of this is calibrated so that you've got the density and the grind that you need to get a perfect espresso.
Yes, absolutely. So
Okay.
before this...
You've practiced.
Yes, yeah.
It's not like you haven't done this before. This took me a long time to figure mine out at home.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an art. So there's some stuff that you have to learn in ahead of time, things like how your grind is going to affect how your espresso extracts. But there's a small learning curve, and then you're off to the races with
Very
delicious
good.
coffee. So I'm going to go ahead and weigh my output. So if I have one tip for good coffee, it's weigh how much coffee you're putting in, weigh how much coffee you're getting out. And I'm
Okay.
going to go ahead and start this. I'm looking for about 35 grams of coffee total, and I'm splitting this into 2 small demi-tasse cups.
I did not know there would be math.
Yes.
It's very confusing.
Yes, yeah. So the scales, there is a little bit of math, but it breaks down to something very simple that I think we can all understand. It's 1 part coffee in, and then just multiply it by 2, and that's a pretty standard recipe. So in this case, this would be 20 grams of coffee in, 40 grams of coffee out. I'm reducing that amount out a little bit because a traditional Italian coffee is very strong, very
Yes.
short, very dense. So we're just looking for
Ooh,
about
it's
35.
coming out beautifully.
Yeah, so you've got the beautiful crema.
Oh
it
my
looks
gosh.
like dark golden honey.
It does. That's the best thing.
When did you start drinking macchiatos?
Just a year ago, I
Awesome.
had one. I had the last little bit of my husband's in Italy, and I thought, what is this?
Yes.
Came home and bought an espresso machine.
There you go.
Off to the
Perfect.
races we are.
We talk about that being sort of your special coffee moment, where you have a moment with coffee that sort of changes you, and you become very interested in it, and you want to know all about it. So
I had just had like drip coffee before then,
Yeah.
and I just didn't realize it could be completely delicious.
Absolutely.
So you have 2 pretty perfect shots there.
yeah, so these are 2 beautiful single shots of espresso. These would be great on their own as an after dinner with dessert. But if you're looking for something a little bit more, you can add just about 10 milliliters in this case of an Amaro. I'm using a Washington Amaro. Their Amaro is literally just means bitter. So it's any type of neutral alcohol mixed with something bitter. It's spices and herbs, and it's usually a secret recipe. So this little guy has so much flavor in it, just a little bit goes a long way.
Very good.
So we're gonna...
And we can do this with whatever we want. If you like a little brandy, whatever else. else,
brandy,
a little Cointreau, whatever it is that you like, you can do that.
Yeah, any type of alcohol that is a little bit sweet, a little bit malty, that if you think about it with coffee, it doesn't make you go, ugh.
Yeah.
It makes you go, yeah, that's probably what I would add.
That's why I was confused about the graph.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we're going to take just about 10 milliliters or about a half ounce, and we're just going to add that to our shot of espresso here into each cup. And then that's all it is. I've corrected the Caffe Corretto here, or sometimes you'll hear it referred to as a Caffe Corretto in the United States, as we do kind of change it to make it our own. And you can order this at an Italian restaurant that has an espresso machine.
Right.
They would know what that would be.
What it is. Now, do I stir it or do I just drink it?
You can stir it if you'd like to mix it all together.
Can I just tell you, I love everything about this, including the little tiny cup. I think
Yes.
that's a very important part of
Absolutely.
of having espresso. Now, I see that you brought some glasses as well. Are there other kinds of things we can make?
Yeah, so what we can make next, and I might even have you pull the shot if you'd like to, we'll make an amped up version of this drink. So twice as much coffee, twice as much Amaro, a twist of orange on top, a really easy way to make a very simple drink look classy and something you could serve at a dinner party or with family if you happen to have espresso at home. Awesome.
This is delicious. I think I blacked
You
out
like
for
it?
a moment. That's so good.
Awesome, yeah. So I picked an Amaro. Anytime you pick a liquor to go with a coffee, pick something that complements the flavor of the coffee. So today I'm using a coffee that's heavy on orange and molasses. So I picked a very sweet Amaro, some aren't as sweet, and one that had a lot of orange tones to it.
That makes sense. You want me to take that
Oh,
away?
please, yeah, thank you so much.
Right. I'm keeping mine over there because I'm going to finish it.
And being an old Italian company, La Marzocco has been making espresso machines for over 92 years now.
I've seen those in stores before. I mean, it's so beautiful, the
Yeah, absolutely.
woodwork and everything else about it. And it looks very simple, but this thing is a beast. It'll do the job.
Absolutely, yeah. They're designed to last for a long time, so they're meant to be sort of family heirloom pieces you can return to again and again. So I have the portafilter there for you. So if you put the jam filter in, and then I'll hit tear, and you can just dump the coffee right in, just the whole thing.
Whole thing. All right.
Awesome.
Just right
Perfect.
over 20.
Yeah, just right over 20.
Whoops, I sort of made a mess of that.
You're good. So you can just pull that straight up, and I'll take care of the rest there. And then we'll go ahead and just level it out a little bit.
Yep, it's hot. Be careful.
Yes.
You know that.
Yes, yeah. There is a degree of risk working with these steam-powered machines here. And then I'm going to have you grab this and just press straight down as hard as you can.
You've got a really heavy, cool tamp.
Yeah,
Here
really nice and weighty. Perfect. And then just pull straight up.
Alrighty.
Awesome.
Put that over here.
So I'm going to go ahead and lock this in, and this time we're going to do a double shot of espresso. So instead of two singles that I did before, which is more traditional, we're going to go for something with a little more oomph.
Okay.
So go ahead and slide that over.
Slide this over here, or am I ready with
paddle?
this?
Yeah, perfect, the paddle.
That comes out mine goes in the front, so I didn't know that was all the way in. Cool.
Absolutely. All right, and then we'll wait for it to start extracting.
Do you ever look at it while it's doing this and go, hurry, hurry?
Yes, absolutely.
Just
I'll be
it
just
looks
like
so
looking
good.
at it and be like, oh, it looks so good.
Now,
Hurry
if we
up.
don't have espresso while this is making,
Yeah.
you've got a coffee machine, you just do, regular Americanos or whatever at home.
Yeah,
well, that's
absolutely.
not a good example. Drip coffee.
Sure.
What can I sort of make this out of?
I would say that Amaro specifically would pair wonderfully with cold brew. A lot of people are now making cold brew at home or iced coffees at home. It's sort of light and citrusy and refreshing. Any coffee that is on the darker side. And then as this gets to about 34 grams, just slide this back over.
Okay.
Go for it.
Perfect. Got there. Oops, I went a little over.
That's
you all right?
That's totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I was not quick enough on the drop.
Yeah. So a couple grams isn't going to hurt when we're going to add equal parts Amaro.
Okay.
So go ahead and add that to the glass.
The
here.
whole thing?
The whole thing. Yep. Just toss
Got
it in there. And then since we're not going to rinse this, I'll take that from you.
You'll take this?
Yep. No
Okay.
problem. And I'm just going to add some Amaro since this was our shot that was already in it. We're just going to add equal parts Amaro, about 2 ounces.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So this
we're
is
going for it.
This is a dinner party cocktail. So
Yeah.
this is less of a after dinner small treat and more of a get your party started type of drink.
Please eat food with this. And
Yes.
drink responsibly.
Yes, absolutely.
That is absolutely beautiful. So is this like in Italy they've been doing this forever?
Caffe Corretto is,
'Cause
yes.
I had not heard of it until I heard of you guys.
Absolutely. So it's less common, but it is something you should be able to order at any like Italian cafe. You go in and they have espresso machine, they have grappa. Specifically after a heavy dinner or lunch, you'll have a Caffe Corretto or Caffe Corretto.
That could just send your afternoon into overdrive, wouldn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Can you
We're going to
imagine?
see what happens to my morning as
Yes.
a result of it. Thank you so much. I
Yes, thank
appreciate
you.
it.